Hi there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you all the first match that I will be showing, and I'm going to be showing all the matches here, but of my Napoleon Total War tournament that I am hosting for you guys, my subscribers. This battle is going to feature Elite Units of America, that's the player's name, not the units, and he's going to be playing here as Prussia, and his opponent is going to be VpFalcon playing as Great Britain. And just since this is a tournament, to make it a little bit more interesting with the commentary, I brought on board my good friend Superman Guy to commentate with me.
Yellow. I'd like to state I'm not a Napoleon player, but I do play strategy games. Big fan. I've been Robin Hood's been giving me the crash course on Napoleon. It all seems to make sense.
Yeah, and I went ahead and got this for him. He's played Rome with me a little bit, but anyways, it's just going to be nice to have another pair of eyes on this battlefield so that we can cover everything for you all. And from what we saw, this battle starts very quickly, so I'm going to get down to it before the units that die off first die. For Prussia here, for Elite Units of America, he's got these Lutzau's Free Corps, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this stuff right, but for his cavalry, he's got some Lancer units. I believe he had 2 Lancers, it looks like, and then 2 Hussar units.
And Great Britain on the opposite side is rushing the hill with 2 units of Dragoons and 2 of Lifeguard.
Yeah, so on this, Prussia is bringing more cavalry, but Britain has the better cav. Now, of course, these Lancers are definitely going to get a good charge, especially if they get downhill, and there goes those Free Corps, and the Lancers charging.
Great Britain made the smart choice in letting his weaker cav take the brunt of the charge, and he saved his Lifeguard to come around later.
And there they are moving around on the left of Prussia's cavalry, taking a charge with the Hussars, which, even though they're downhill, they should be able to tank that one out. See all that combat there. And basically, while this is going on, you can see Prussia is rushing the hill. He's going hard after this hill. Britain is moving forward too, but at a walk, not really pushing all that hard for the hill, so clearly looking to skirmish it out and fight on the hill a little later. And then there goes some of the cavalry. So it looks like right here the Prussian cavalry was initially winning, and now the British cav is starting to just tank it out, even getting a little bit of surrounding going on with the Lifeguards.
That said, it does seem that Prussia is the first to get true infantry on the hill.
Yeah, definitely moving up some units. So I'll quickly go for or through what Prussia brought for you guys. The rules for this tournament quickly, general things like I had max 1 artillery, but you weren't allowed howitzers or anything, so basically, you know, your straight shot horse artillery if players wanted to bring that. But the standard stuff was max 5 light infantry units and max 6 of any unit type. For example, if you brought these grenadiers, you could only bring 6 of that specific unit. Other than that, most of it was up to the players. And for his army, he brought some Jaegers on the far left, backed up by an 8th Life Regiment and a Foot Guard unit. Then in the middle, he's got 3 Musketeers and a Grenadier. And on his far right, he's got 4 Prussian Fusilier. Those are also light infantry units. And 3 more Musketeer units. And of course his general, which he left in the back, standard general staff. And then Zuber, if you want to go through Great Britain.
Yeah, Britain on the opposite side. Speaking from the Prussian perspective, they've got a foot and a light foot on the far left, and that's going to be facing off against the Jaegers. Jaegers outrange him, so not a whole lot going to happen there. And towards the center, they've got Lightfoot skirmishing off the hill against the Prussians, some foot guards and some more foot a little bit farther to the right there. And then the true British skirmishers there, the rifles, are now getting some flank shots into the Prussian musketeers there. And then even farther right is another strong front from the British. composed of light foot and 2 standard foot. But
Yep.
Prussian has some strong strong skirmishing presence about to face off against them. So
Yeah, definitely. Prussia decided to load their right flank with most of the skirmishers. And interesting thing here in the center, Prussia definitely sees the hill at first, but going over that hill, he got hit pretty hard by those light foot in the back, outranging him, as well as the foot and foot guards pushing up. So he had to pull his troops back over the ridgeline to avoid being fired at. And it looks like now those British troops are rushing the hill, and you can notice the Prussian musketeer units firing straight into the hillside, not making sure that his men weren't on fire at will and, you know, wasting their ammo straight into the hill, which he's now fixing.
it really did a number on that hill. Taught it some manners.
Props for taking out the hill. And it looks like on the far right at the same time, some stuff going on. The Prussian Fusiliers shredding a foot unit. Yeah, definitely there with the ranged advantage. Britain's going to pull back, and there's a cavalry charge from what's left of the British cav coming up towards the other Prussian Fusilier.
The Prussians did manage to get their musketeers into square, though, so unless the Great Britain goes straight after those skirmishers, they're not going to get a whole lot done.
Yeah, he's taking some losses there, deciding to pull back from that one, realizing he's not going to get a good charge. And in the center here, you can see these grenadiers. They are attempting to run out of their current position where they are surrounded by British troops who have now taken the hill. A few of those men standing bravely here to fight with the bayonet. Oh, he just got shot point blank in the face.
It was a good effort, though.
Yeah, definitely a good effort.
Good on him for trying. Wow, that one Prussian grenadier who just walked away. I'm sincerely impressed.
He is the lone soldier.
The man's a god.
I've got a nice angle on him. We'll see. I wonder if he gets shot. Those are light foot up there, so they have the range.
So I want to point out here that Great Britain's rifles, they posted up pretty cleverly just on the opposite side of that pond where the hill dips down a little bit, and we're able to get some solid shots into Prussian musketeers, and now they're skirmishing against the actual Fusiliers.
Yeah, the Fusiliers have the better position at the moment, but overall most of these guys can't fire because of line of sight with the hill. And Prussia, or Great Britain that is, my bad, has just decided to completely pull back. From my perspective that I'm showing you guys now, they're left because of the heavy skirmishing presence that Prussia has. He can't compete with that range, so he doesn't want his troops to just get shredded by all those Fusiliers without being able to respond.
So at this point, if you want to take a glance at the minimap in your top right, you can notice that overall the Prussian force is beginning to wrap around on the Prussian right flank, and Great Britain's falling into a more defensive stance to hold it back.
Yeah, Prussia is the red on the minimap there. And he's shuffling over some more of his Fusiliers to get some shots because Great Britain has taken this hill now. He's got some foot guards and foot on there. These guys have seen some combat though, and he does still have some light foot on there which outrange Prussia's center facing him. But Prussia has decided to just sit back out of range, and Britain does not have the troops to back up a push there, so they're not really doing anything with that. They do have one Jaeger unit over that way though.
Yeah, those Prussian Jaegers, as a matter of fact, are starting to get some shot into Great Britain's light foot that are out in the open there.
Yeah, they did get a few kills. Looks like they got 9 of them. And now both units are out of range again. And Great Britain is moving one unit of foot slowly through these trees around the right. And it looks like Prussia is shifting a foot guard to block them. If it comes to a shootout there, the foot guard is definitely going to handle the regular foot unit.
Back up on the hill, Prussia is now actually moving over to get some shots straight down into Great Britain's light foot.
Yep, and it looks like some of the last bit of British cavalry has been shot up. That one dragoon's making it away for the moment. Don't know where they were planning on going. Here's the view from the British Lightfoot, looking up at the hill, and the Prussian Fusiliers firing back down. And it looks like the Lightfoot and Foot unit here are actually going to rout those Fusiliers up on the hill. But there is another unit adjacent to them. A little farther this direction. Looks like we got a Foot unit fighting off a Musketeer, but the Musketeer has much more men at this point, so they should be able to pull this one out, I believe. It's 105 men versus 56 at the moment. Both units don't have the best morale at the moment, though.
Now I'd like to draw attention back to the Prussian Jaegers against the British Lightfoot. And Lightfoot are just completely out of position. The Jaegers have moved up just enough to be able to get shots on them, and they're just getting peppered.
Oh yeah, right here in the middle? Or in the far left?
On the Prussian left.
Okay. And that Foot unit back there is also still moving towards the Foot Guards, but in the center, these Prussian Fusilier were shifted over from Prussia's far right, back towards the middle. He's getting some ranged advantage again on these British units, the Foot Guards and the Foot taking a volley there, and Britain has responded by moving their rifle unit up onto the hill. And now we've got these Musketeers firing downhill into the Lightfoot and Foot units of Britain. Musketeers have a better position, but they are being shot at from more angles. Though, what is this coming through the woods? Looks like just a Musketeer unit, but still, if I show you guys by pressing space here where they're moving, they're going to be getting a little bit of flanking fire, and that will do a morale blow for sure to the British units down here at the bottom of the hill. Both armies have their generals close, though.
Yeah, the America's elite units wasn't going to leave his general out of the action for too long.
Yeah, he had him at the back at the beginning. And this is the end of the British cavalry. They are going to charge in. America's elite units is going to get his Musketeers into square, and he's going to manage to kill off the last of these guys in that charge. They're all going to rout. So now there's no longer cavalry on the field. VpFalcon's final units melting away there. The far left is still quiet, although those Jaegers did manage to get another volley into the Lightfoot, so that Lightfoot's pretty beat up, down to 36 men, and the Jaegers have lost none in that encounter. And the Foot unit still sitting up here on the hill.
Yeah, Britain now, it appears they're choosing to move off the hill into the Prussian range of the Jaegers.
And right now, what I am showing you guys is, again, the right flank of Prussia. And at this point, better position, more troops, and a surrounding fire is going to go ahead and rout these Lightfoot as well as the Foot unit here. The Musketeers up on the hill definitely putting down fire, and that Musketeer on the flank starting to take its toll. This Foot unit here should rout in a second, being surrounded basically. And I'm getting a notification that a Prussian unit is routing. Looks like these Grenadiers finally got taken off the field by the Lightfoot using their range again. That's in the middle of the field. Now they are firing at the 8th Life Regiment.
Sitting just outside their range. So, America's elite units has either got to move the 8th Life into range or out of it.
It looks like he's moving them out of it.
I'd say it's probably the wiser choice.
And look, once again, the Lightfoot are trying to push forward on the flank, getting another volley from the Jaegers here. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're going to rout. They're not even going to get off a shot.
Even farther left, the Foot Guard has engaged.
With a Foot unit here, yeah. And the Foot Guard has a better position. This is pretty flat, but these guys are both in the trees. Look, the Foot Guards haven't lost a man, and they have done some damage to this unit, killing 30. Those trees sucking up most of the fire from the British unit. But back in the center, Prussia has pretty much won on their right flank, and the middle units are starting to melt away. There is still a rifle unit on the hill and these 2 Lightfoot, but as far as like hard, heavy infantry units go, Britain doesn't really have anything left but that foot on the far, far left. And those guys are falling back at the moment, outmatched by the foot guard.
Interesting to note, a unit that had routed Great Britain's foot guards has reformed back behind the Prussian line on the right flank.
Oh. I see them there. We'll see if he actually notices that. Right now they're turned the wrong way. Oh, yep.
Seems too little too late.
Yeah, Prussia's Fusiliers are shooting at them. So I don't think he's going to notice that one. Not that those guys would have been able to make much of a difference anyways at this point, but it's definitely that.
No, they could have done more.
Yeah. General's charge going into the Prussian Fusilier in the middle, and the British general is going to take them out. So that's one less Prussian unit on the field. At this point, it's looking pretty darn rough for VpFalcon and his British army, but at least there is one more Prussian unit down. He's still got these Lightfoot advancing, and they are about to take on the Jaegers here and the Prussian general, who looks like it is charging.
This cannot possibly go well for Great Britain's Lightfoot.
Although it looks like he's going to get volley right into the general. Oh, look at that. Shredded those guys. Yeah, Prussia's general is probably going to go down before this Lightfoot finally routs there.
At the same time, it did buy Prussia the time to get the 8th Life and the Jaegers into position.
Yeah, and at this point, having the general won't make that much of a difference. And those foot guards now finally shredded the foot unit. And that Lightfoot is trying to maneuver again, but they're being shot by the 8th Life Regiment. So all that's really left are these rifles and the British General Staff unit. And at this point, I do want to make one quick comment. This map, for those of you who... probably most people viewing this are familiar with the game, but this is the Syrian Ridge map. For this tournament, I let the contestants pick the map they played on, but I limited it to a pool of like 5 or 6 maps. I had 2 or so with the large hills, that was Prussian hills, and this map. Then I had like Galician Ria and Italian grasslands and stuff. I wanted maps with some terrain. I didn't want this to be one of the boring grassy flatlands matches that you can typically see, especially in some tournaments and stuff. I wanted people to have to play around with, you know, some terrain. So I picked maps that are fairly even for starting positions in terrain. This map is very even, the hills in the center. And an interesting tactic, which maybe we'll see at one point, is lining up your army perpendicular to the hill. It really narrows down the hill and almost negates it. Last unit standing is these rifles. And Prussia is moving forward on them.
At this point, Prussia's just clean and shop. The match is effectively over.
Yeah, these foot on the far, far left of Prussia have come back from routing, but they're not going to be able to make that much of a difference, as well as this Lightfoot. But it really is too little, too late at this point. Great Britain's general coming down, and now he is taking fire. Lots of fire. Yeah, there he went. Just got shredded on that hillside.
This is a fun last hurrah, though, for the British general.
So Zuper, as a someone who's not necessarily experienced in playing Napoleon Total War, what would you think? It'll be interesting to hear. Do you think Britain could have done anything differently to maybe give them an edge in this one?
I think largely moving down off the hill was a dangerous move. That said, they weren't going to hold the hill. I think they probably should have fallen back and supported their left flank, that being Prussia's right,
Yeah, brought all their skirmishers over there.
as much as they could.
That might have made that a little bit more even.
It reached a point where the hill was not worth keeping because Prussia had just backed off.
Yeah, and at this point, it looks pretty much over. All British units are routing except for 2, and yeah, these guys, they all should rout here pretty soon. This foot unit is running forward. They're gonna take a volley from not only foot guards. Those foot guards cleaned house over here. They had a good position. They shredded that foot unit, and now they're gonna shred them again. But they just had a good position that allowed them to take literally no losses in that engagement.
Such is the strength of a good defensive position. Moving forward into any sort of gunfire is a dangerous prospect, as Great Britain's foot learned.
Yeah, definitely, especially against a foot guard unit. But he didn't really have anything else to put there. I can't remember. Did Britain field any guard units?
They had lifeguard,
Lifeguard?
yeah, but all the cav was gone
Yeah.
after that initial engagement.
And that's gonna be it. That's everyone routing there. Those rifles cleaned up, as well as that unit. So, on that note, very, very good game to both people. Thank you for joining the tournament, and there's definitely going to be more for all of you guys who may be interested in playing in a later tournament. Not only in Napoleon Total War, I'm probably going to do one in Total War Rome 2 after this, and if they ever balance out Attila's multiplayer well, we can do one in Attila. But at this point, that game is great campaign-wise, a little bit iffy on the multiplayer. Anyways, key things to note: Elite Units of America here deployed several, close to 300, a little over 300 actually, more troops than VpFalcon. So we definitely had a numbers advantage. Aside from that, their kills were kind of similar.
Most definitely. All in all, it's a close match, very well played on both sides.
Yeah, a little bit of friendly fire on both teams, but that's to be expected in this game. And sadly, from this replay, I can only show you the stats for Elite Units of America, his individual infantry, but his Prussian Fusiliers. His top 3 units were skirmishers, just a very good placement of skirmishers there. But again, good game to both contestants. That was definitely a fun, very spread out battle to watch, which is nice. It's nice to see things not being condensed into one tiny area, making you think a little bit more. Anyways, I think that's it for this one, right?
Congratulations to Elite Units of America for winning the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, we will see you in round 2, and there are still 7 more matches in this first round that I have to bring all of you guys, so expect more soon, and then round 2 after that. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more, and there's a link to my Steam group if anyone's interested in the tournament or later tournaments. All information for it is there. So thank you, Zuper, for commentating with me.
Pleasure to be here.
Yep, you guys will see more of him in the upcoming commentaries. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks again.